So the university has the pleasure of hosting the Royal Television Society Working in Journalism Networking event every November. We've hosted it now for the last 3 years. The event is an opportunity to hear from journalists, hear from alumni about their role in journalism, what they're doing, how they've made the transition from graduating at university into broadcast journalism.
I think Solent prepared me quite well for that transition. One of the big things for me is I was doing a lot of work experience while I was at university, sort of going to the news a couple of times a week. And the university really gave that sort of flexibility for me to go and do that.
Having the experience that I had from Solent University and also from work experience that I'd done and I was encouraged to do while I was at university was so useful. I had that on my CV, and potential employers looked at that and thought, okay, so she's got a really good grasp of what's expected of her, and I would get opportunities through that, and it ended up landing me a job.
Solent was great in the 3 years I was here. Having a newsroom like this, having the staff support and the experience of the staff was really beneficial to kind of what I've learnt now. I've definitely learnt a lot since finishing, but the stuff I learnt in those 3 years I was here was vitally important to the work I do now.
I think when you're here in this spot, either final year or just starting, you kind of go, is there still going to be, is there going to be a chance for me when I get out after university? So it is great to come to these events and hear from people who have, come out the other end, do have a job, and that can able to provide you with that valuable advice.
These kind of events are really helpful for students. They enable them to be exposed to people who are working in the industry, and to talk about the changes the industry is going through, and also what the industry is looking for in students.
I remember coming down to this exact event in my first year and speaking to some of the journalists and learning what was important, what I needed to get a job, learning how important work experience was and the value of being a multimedia journalist. And now here I am 4 years later, and I'm sat working alongside the person that I spoke to on that first event.
Events which help you meet people that are already in the industry are so important. When I was a student, I went to these events too. I networked, and that's gone a long way to why I am where I am today.
The Royal Television Society event is indicative of really our close working relationships with broadcasters and with the media in the South Coast. We have lecturers that come in, give guest lectures. We have alumni come in, they work on news days, they work with the students, that hand-on approach, really working with them to build their confidence, but also build those really good professional skills that get those portfolios ready for graduate employment.
I could go into a job interview and put down not just a portfolio of print stories, but also a tablet with video, pictures and audio interviews on as well. By being able to show that you can do everything, it makes you a lot more employable than someone that walks into a room with just video or with just a print portfolio.
Create your own opportunities. Don't wait for a job to be advertised. Network with every kind of working journalist you can, if in person or on social media.
I think it's so important to put yourself out there, to make yourself memorable to people who are in the industry, because if we're short-staffed, we think we need someone to literally just come in for a couple of days, do some research, or just help out generally around the newsroom. Then if you come to mind, that is the potential for you to become freelance, which then could lead you to actually getting a full-time paid job.